Hello, and welcome to the latest installment of My Dad Listens to This. I'm Juliet the daughter.
And I'm Kevin the dad.
And Dad, who are we talking about today?
Well, since you're the one who picks the albums, why don't you tell the crowd?
So, I did some browsing, and then I saw an artist who I've always listened to when I was a kid, and who I also used to watch in animated movies when I was a kid. So today, we're talking about Peggy Lee. Dad, what do we need to know?
Okay, Tony Bennett called her the female Frank Sinatra. Frank himself said she was the best friend the song ever had.
Aww.
Duke Ellington said that if he was the Duke, Peggy was the Queen.
Aw, that's sweet.
Miss Peggy Lee was born Norma Dolores Eggstrom in Jamestown, North Dakota on May 26, 1920, the seventh of 8 children.
Wow.
So could you imagine if they stopped after 6?
Oh, yeah, true. Oh, God.
Well, they didn't have TV back then, so.
Yeah.
Her mother died when Norma was 4, and her stepmother turned out to be physically and emotionally abusive.
Oh, living up to the stereotype.
Yep.
Ugh.
She sang locally on radio stations and was paid in food by a local restaurant sponsoring one of the shows.
Wow.
In 1937, she was hired to sing on WDAY in Fargo, North Dakota's biggest station at the time. Before she went on air, program director Ken Kennedy changed her name to Peggy Lee because Norma Eggstrom just was not gonna cut it.
Didn't ring that well.
She left home at 17 and went to Los Angeles. She worked the Doll House in Los Angeles and developed her trademark sultry purr, figuring to compete with the noisy crowds with subtlety over volume.
That works.
A hotel owner noticed her and offered her a gig at the Buttery Room.
I'm sorry, they named it the Buttery Room?
The Buttery Room.
That just sounds gross.
It's got butter everywhere.
Ugh. Oh, I'm sure. Is that what they're calling it?
Anyway, the world famous Buttery Room in the Ambassador Hotel East in Chicago. Benny Goodman noticed her thanks to his fiancée and hired Peggy to be his band's new girl singer. She signed on in 1941 and stayed for 2 years. In 1943, she married Benny's guitarist Dave Barber, but Benny had a rule: no fraternizing with the girl singer. Which I can see you don't want that kind of relationship. It breaks up bands.
Yeah, it's like the same room of like never date your coworkers.
So Benny fired Barber, so Peggy quit. Now Benny and Peggy made up, but Dave did not play with Benny anymore because Goodman still stuck to his rule. Peggy and Dave divorced in 1951 due to his alcoholism. She'd married 3 more times, but she always called Dave the love of her life.
Oh, that's sad. Maybe if he'd gotten some help, then the marriage would have lasted. Maybe he just needed help.
Peggy turned to songwriting, and in 1945, Capitol signed her. She stayed with them till 1952. She wanted to record a version of the Rodgers and Hart song Lover, which she had been performing live as a, quote, triple-gated mambo, unquote.
That's interesting.
Normally it was done as a waltz.
Yeah.
Peggy went to Capitol with her idea. They said no. Decca said, hey, we'll let you do it your way if you sign with us. So she did. Lover became a monster hit. Richard Rodgers, who was finicky about the way his songs should be played,
Oh, yes.
sent her a telegram telling her to do his songs any way she wanted. Royalties.
Cool.
Yeah, and I have that version, and it is frenetic. I've never heard anything like it, and since we're doing her Capitol stuff, it's not on here. But
We'll
if
do
we
the
ever
Decca stuff next
we do
time.
the Decca stuff, then
Yeah, we will.
all right. During this time, she also starred in Danny Thomas's remake of The Jazz Singer and scored an Oscar nom for Best Supporting Actress for her role in Pete Kelly's Blues in 1955. Oh, also in 1953,
Here we go.
she was approached by Walt Disney to write songs for Lady and the Tramp, which she did, and she also had 4 roles. She was Darling, Peg, and the 2 Siamese Cats. Now, when Lady and the Tramp first came out on VHS in 1987, Peggy sought performance and song royalties on the video sales.
As one would.
Then head of Disney, Michael Eisner, said
Boo.
no. Peggy filed suit in 1988, and eventually in 1992, the California Court of Appeals ordered Disney to pay Miss Peggy Lee $3.2 million in compensation, or about 4% of video sales.
Good for her.
Okay, going back, 5 years later, after she signed with Decca, she left them because she wanted to record Fever. And Decca said no. And Capitol said, hey, we'll let you do it your way if you re-sign with us. So she did. She also added the uncopyrighted lyrics about Romeo and Juliet and Captain Smith and Pocahontas, not the Elizabeth Warren version.
Oh, God.
Fever became even more of a monster hit than Lover, and it's her signature song. Now, combined with her first stint, she was with Capitol Records for 24 years and holds the record for female artist with the longest stint there. She was nominated for a Grammy 13 times and won in 1969 for Best Contemporary Vocal Performance Female, whatever that means, for Is That All There Is? She got a Lifetime Achievement Grammy in 1995. In 1986, she was the first female songwriter to win the Songwriters Guild of America's President Award.
Wow.
She was inducted into Songwriters Hall of Fame in 1999.
Good for her.
And she does get compared like up there with Sinatra, Bing Crosby, and Tony Bennett. But out of all of them, she was the only one who also wrote songs.
Now, here's what I want to know. How come she wasn't a member of the Rat Pack and it was Shirley MacLaine instead? And I have nothing against Shirley. I'm a big fan of hers. But it's like, did she hang out with them but on her own time or what?
No, she really didn't run with that crowd.
Oh, they're more so like admirers or like friends or acquaintances?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, in 1959, Bing Crosby had a TV special, and it featured himself, Frank, Peggy Lee, and Louis Armstrong. And they spent the whole hour singing. There's one sequence where they have 3 piano players, and they're all singing with them, and the piano players are getting turns to play.
Cool.
There's clips on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
But there's also, if you go online, there's also like loads of pictures of the 4 of them arm in arm.
Oh, that's cute.
During the show. And they are also, the 4 of them are also regarded as the 4 greatest American singers ever.
I mean, they're not wrong. I mean, they would definitely be in any list of the greatest American singers ever, I think.
Okay, she was still performing in the 1990s, sometimes having to use a wheelchair.
Oh, poor Peggy.
She suffered a stroke in 1998 and died of complications of diabetes and a heart attack on January 21st, 2002 at the age of 81.
Oh, wow.
In 2003, there was a sold-out tribute concert at Carnegie Hall and a second sold-out event at the Hollywood Bowl in 2004.
Do you know who sang?
And there's like a long list. If you go on Wikipedia, you can get a lot of information.
Okay.
I kind of remember Debbie Harry as being one of the people who sang. But the interesting thing to me was that the guy who organized both these events was Richard Barone, who was more known as a rock and roller. But I guess he must have been a big Peggy Lee fan. He managed to put these 2 shows together.
Sometimes rock and rollers are fans of music you wouldn't expect them to be fans of.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised. I actually have a record of his when he was with this band called the Bongos. And their big college radio WBRU hit was Numbers with Wings.
Remember to show you this video later where they interview all these heavy metal artists about their favorite guilty pleasure songs. You'd be surprised at some of the answers. And Alice is there too, because I guess Alice got an invite, as you should.
Now, if you would like to learn more about Miss Peggy Lee, I recommend the biography Fever, The Life and Music of Miss Peggy Lee by Peter Richmond. I read that a couple of years ago, and it's pretty comprehensive.
Okay.
Now, the one thing I don't know is how she got the name. Like, people always call her Miss Peggy Lee.
Right.
I don't know how she got that.
What do you mean? The name? I thought you said she got it from the guy at the radio station.
No, she got Peggy Lee, but everyone calls her Miss Peggy Lee.
Maybe out of respect?
Could be.
Or maybe like after, she was divorced, it's like, well, you're single now, so we can't call you Mrs. I don't know.
I don't know.
Mm.
Okay, yeah, that's a mystery. Now, as to how I came about getting this disc, I always liked the song Fever, and I remember being up at Tower Records and seeing this 4-disc box set just called Miss Peggy Lee on Capitol Records. And that's what the 1-disc compilation is based on. They took 16 tracks from the box. I saw it at Tower Records and I thought, that's
It's a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
4 discs. Do I really want to wade through all that? But I found this 1 disc compilation there, and I recognized more songs than I thought on there,
Really?
such as Pass Me By, which I remember from my Captain Kangaroo days as a kid.
Oh, really? They played that on the show?
Yeah, and they had, I swear I remember, like this little cartoon character with the feet wiggling in the sand.
I bet
Um,
Captain Kangaroo paid Peggy Lee.
I'm sure that CBS probably did.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember Is That All There Is from the radio when I was a mere lad of 6,
Mm-hmm.
and Big Spender and I'm a Woman.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so eventually I picked up that disc, and eventually I picked up her Best of Decca Years disc as well because I thought, wait a minute, where's the song Lover? That's not on there. I've got it on this other collection called Sentimental Journey of
Oh,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
pre-rock and roll songs. I thought, well, where is it? Then I found out, okay, Decca, and that also has some reworkings of some Lady and the Tramp songs on there.
That makes sense because that was about the same time period.
Yeah. Like I said, maybe we'll review that someday. But for now, let's jump
Just
in.
this. Okay. First song, Waiting for the Train to Come In. I feel like a lot of women could relate to this song when it came out in 1945. I Googled what year it came out of curiosity. And it makes sense because World War II had just ended or was about to end depending on what month the song was released. It didn't say what month. So a lot of wives, girlfriends, and fiancés were finally getting their men back. And I bet Peggy's singing I'm Waiting for My Life to Begin hit really hard. The one part of the song I wasn't expecting was the instrumental in the middle, because the subject matter is kind of wistful and melancholy, and then the instruments have this little upbeat, bouncy section in the middle. Yeah, the image I had running through my head that could possibly explain this was all these people are meeting up at the train station embracing while Peggy is just still sitting and waiting for her man's train because it hasn't come in yet. And I'm a bit hesitant to say this because I don't want it to come off as an insult,
Go ahead.
but say you took away the lyrics. The instrumental sounds like a bossa nova track you'd hear playing at a cafe or in the background at a Barnes & Noble.
I guess it kind of would, huh?
Can you hear it? Yeah, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because I like that music and I like swing to it. I guess what I'm trying to say is that you can tell this song came out early in Peggy's career because it doesn't have that sultry quality to it yet with her singing in her lower register. It's not to say this song is bad, it's just that if you're more familiar with her later stuff, this track is a bit surprising.
So what you're saying is like, are you saying that like her voice makes that song? Because you're saying like if you took it away, then you've just got background at Barnes & Noble Cafe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, it was recorded in 1945, and it hit home with servicemen and their families waiting for them to come home.
Yep.
And the way Peggy sings it, she sounds kind of tired, if that makes sense. Like she's just tired of waiting.
Well, everyone must have been pretty burnt out and worn out at that point by what was going on in the world.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, we're in a pandemic right now. Everybody's pretty burnt out about the pandemic, and it's not even done yet.
The only thing I don't care for is the phrase "choo-choo train."
Yeah, that was weird too.
Because it takes a grown-up song and infantilizes it briefly.
Yeah, you sound like you're 6.
And adults should only use that phrase only if they're reading a kid's book to a child.
I can see that.
Yeah, it's the only thing that just... And I sat there and thought, well, what else could work with that rhyme scheme? Wait for the railroad train. I guess...
Railroad would have worked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tasty guitar work by Dave Barber.
Excellent guitar work.
But yeah, you're right. That middle part, it's like... But maybe it's to transmit that, hey, the train's coming in for some people. And,
where is it for me? Yeah.
Oh, lady, it's the other station on the other side of town. You want to go there, yeah.
Well, thanks for telling me now.
Yeah.
All right, next track. I don't know enough about you. Okay. This song made me think of Katrine and Casper in Borgen on Netflix. If you don't watch the show, quick summary. Katrine's a reporter, and Casper is the spin doctor for the Prime Minister of Denmark, which is kind of a weird mix of like Chief of Staff meets Press Secretary meets White House Communications Director. Politics in Denmark is different than American politics. Anyway, the two of them are on again, off again, with the biggest obstacle being Casper's unwillingness to open up, and Katrine saying she doesn't know anything about him. However, there's a difference between the two of them and Peg and her man in this song. On Borgen, the reason Casper doesn't open up is because he has trauma from what happened to him when he was a boy. Yeah, Dad saw some of it. The reason this guy in this song doesn't open up is because, well, he's playing hard to get like a jerk. Yet I get the feeling Peggy is going to get an answer out of him. For the first half of the song, she does sound irritated and a little bit heartbroken, but then she turns on the seduction just enough for this guy to be going, oh, I'll tell you whatever you want to hear, baby. There's also another instrumental in the middle with a bit of pep, but not as much pep as the previous song. And there's a bit of seduction going on, too. This song also gets bonus points for the best geology pun ever with "I'm a gem in geology."
Oh, I love that line.
Yeah, it's not a lazy pun, and I appreciate the thought someone put in to write that lyric.
That would be Peggy.
Thank you, Peggy.
Yeah, it was written by Peggy and Dave Barber, and they actually wrote quite a few of these songs. And like I said, she called him the great love of her life, despite it all.
Yeah.
Just an all-around great song. And like you said, that line, "I'm a little gem in geology," priceless.
Perfect.
And that thing at the end where you got to get the dictionary out and
Oh, sham or shmur?
schmear to schmur. Yeah, which is hilarious.
I don't get that, though.
It doesn't matter.
I don't know.
Oh. Well, because like she knows everything, but she doesn't know about this guy.
Oh, so she doesn't know what to call him, yeah. I think the
Yeah.
word she's looking for is schmuck.
That could be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I kind of look at this song as like Peggy's a woman of the world. She knows it all, has seen it all. But then this guy comes along who totally throws her off her game. And I like the line, "Jack of all trades, master of none." And I realized, hey, she does know me.
Okay, sure.
A classic. But I think with this song, she's finding, I don't want to say her groove, but maybe her niche where it's like,
Niche, yeah.
like the like you were saying, like the lower register, the instrumental break is not as fast as it was in Waiting for the Train to Come in. I think they're realizing what they have
Yeah.
with her, and that they're starting to develop this
Sound.
persona.
Yeah, both. All right, next track. "It's All Over Now," a breakup song that isn't too sad. This reminds me of a quotation, and I'm going to paraphrase here because I don't remember it word for word. "That image of your ex in your head, don't romanticize it too much, because that's who they used to be. It's not who they are." Like, if
That's
you have
true.
something to go back for them, don't. And Peggy has come to that realization in this song. All the kisses and one-liners can be fun for a while, but when there's nothing behind those kisses and one-liners, it's time to go. And as Peggy says, she wishes it could be different, but if she can't have what she wants, she's gonna go. And I could see this guy sitting there like totally confused, like some sort of football jock Chad. Like, what do you mean you're leaving? What do you mean you're leaving me? I was supposed to leave you. She's beat him to the punch, and I think that's what she's happy about, the fact that he didn't get there first. Then there's another instrumental, but this time with a more prominent horn section and a little solo for clarinet. I also realized that these instrumentals were probably because back then they wanted to have a section for couples to slow dance to, or maybe to jive to, or just dance to. But my advice is, you probably don't want to slow dance to this one, especially if you didn't pay too much attention to lyrics. And this song is even more hilarious if you picture Peggy Lee singing this to a bewildered Michael Eisner. "What do you mean you're going to sue me? No one sues me. I sue them."
Ah. Well, I kind of looked at it as like Peggy had plans for herself and her man. Oh, she did. But then he turns out to be a bastard. You know, he told her little white lies with which he really didn't mean to deceive her. And his kisses made her believe, but it was just a ride in the dark, as she says. And then she says, you know, "Remember how I planned a little home by a stream where we'd spend every day? You must have thought me crazy when I painted that dream because you threw it away." Heartbreaking.
Ow.
Again, bastard.
Yeah, bastard.
He doesn't deserve her.
Nope.
Does anyone?
No.
No.
No. All right, next song. "It's a Good Day." And then we cut to the song Peggy Lee must have sang after she won the lawsuit. But seriously, this song does make you feel good, and it may make you dance in your seat. And with this song, it's one of those where it doesn't matter why you're happy. It's just about waking up one day and feeling, it's going to be a good one. Now, some people might hear this song and say, well, why would you be happy about paying the bills? Because it's probably one of those times where you have enough in your account to pay the bills and you have a little left over to spend on whatever the hell you want. It's that kind of day. But this song made me think, if Peggy hadn't written the music for Lady and the Tramp, what other Disney movie could I see her writing music for? And then I realized I could easily see her maybe writing a couple of songs for the Aristocats.
I can see that.
Because this song made me think of Everybody Wants to Be a Cat sequence because everyone's dancing and having a good time. But then there's a part at the end where Peggy starts echoing and fades away. Is it because the day is over? Or because the whole thing was just a dream and you're about to wake up and face reality? Maybe it's a sobering reminder that sometimes the good things don't last, so enjoy them while you can.
And then we'll sing the song again tomorrow. And the day after that.
And the day
because
after
it's
that.
always a good day.
We lied to ourselves.
Yes. Yep, this is another song written by Peggy and Dave. It's cheerful and optimistic, relentlessly so.
Hmm.
But it's impossible to feel down in the dumps while hearing this. It's
Yes,
just,
it is.
you know?
Hmm.
And then Peggy even advises to take a deep breath and throw away the pills. And I thought, what kind of pills, I'm wondering,
I don't think it's
are they?
antidepressants. Maybe it's Tylenol after a rough night of drinking.
I don't know. Did they have happy pills back then?
They might have, but there was definitely a greater stigma around it at the time.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm just always struck by that line.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we are treated to some more tasty guitar work by Dave Barber.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's interesting with that fade out because back then a lot of songs really didn't fade out. It was just, they just ended.
That's more a 70s thing anyway, isn't it? Like you hear it in a lot of 70s songs.
Well, more so the 60s, I think, or maybe when rock and roll came, it was like, okay, we don't know how to end this song. How
So
do
we're
we
just
end
gonna
this
sing the
song?
chorus over
We're
and
just gonna
over.
fade out.
Mhm.
So DJs could talk
Oh,
over it
that's
and then
why.
introduce and yeah, and
Huh,
then go
okay.
into the next song. Um, but yeah, this is like one of the happiest songs ever.
I just saw that clip from Christmas Vacation today, but it was a puppet mouthing along to it.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it was. Oh, who was it? It was Norman and Yeller. Norman and Yeller are some of my favorite puppet duos on TikTok. They do adult humor. It's great. I'll show you later. Anyway, next song. Chibaba Chibaba, my bambino go to sleep. I don't think this song would put a baby to sleep.
No.
No. If you want a song that's more soothing, try Little Star Sweeper from Lady and the Tramp, which gets me teary-eyed every time, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. But maybe this is a song where you tire the baby out until they're asleep. Like the thing where, or maybe like, you know how when you have, like, there's a comic about this in the Pajama Diaries by Terry Levinson where her kids were toddlers and so she and their husband took them to the park and they ran around all day. That way they would pass out and take a nap for a few hours. That way they could have some quiet time. Maybe it's like one of those songs. You just tire them out to it and then they sleep for a few hours. So you can like get the laundry done.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, my favorite part of this song is the background singers who introduce the song and then wrap the song up. I kind of wish they sang a bit more and maybe also sang along with Peggy because they make the chorus more catchy in my opinion. Also, is there a translation of the Italian Peggy says at the end of the song? Because it'd be good to know what it means. Maybe she's saying go to sleep or something cutesy to the baby she's holding like baby speak.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know. Yeah, like I agree. Maybe the kid can't get to sleep because this song swings. And the background singers at the beginning don't help. I mean, if it was
No.
me, I'd be like awake, like I'm trying to sleep. Shut this off. Come on.
Mm-hmm. It's like,
but
I guess the equivalent we would think of today is the memes about golden slumbers. Like if you tried to play that for your baby and then the loud part comes in and they go, wah!
yeah, thanks a lot, Paul.
Thanks, Paul. Now my kid's never gonna sleep.
Yeah, so
Thanks, Peggy. My kid's never gonna fall
yeah,
asleep.
so we got Chibaba Chibaba Chihuahua and Chihuahua Kukula Goomba. If you can figure out what that means, the universe is yours.
Maybe it's supposed to be like vocal scatting, like skibidi beep bop beat up oh or something, but make it sound Italian.
I can dig it. Well, I just ended up listening to Yankee Doodle Dandy from Stand Free with the United States of America. Come on, don't swing, you know what I mean, man? Come on.
That's the guy who wrote that awful song for
No.
for Miles. It's not him.
No. I think that's Stan himself.
Oh, it sounds like him though.
It does, but no, he's not part of that.
Okay, we can put the knife down.
Yeah, because he's doing a parody of the Swinging Hep Cat,
Yeah. All right, next.
which has nothing absolutely to do with the best of Miss Peggy Lee.
No, or the next song, Golden Earrings. Not too much to say about this one, except that it didn't really grab me. I also don't get why it's Golden Earrings specifically that attracts your loved one. I mean, I remember in a 60 Minutes report, this is something different, but they did a story about the gold business in India and about how sometimes in certain religions, gold is associated with luck. But I don't know how it relates here. But maybe if I did know the symbolism or the reasoning behind it, it would make more sense, but it's lost on me, so shrug. Peggy also tries to be seductive and mysterious and maybe even a little spooky, but it doesn't really work on me. Nice to hear a song about men wearing jewelry, though.
Well, maybe they figure, hey, if you can wear golden earrings, one of us is rich.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Yeah. Now, it's also from the movie of the same name with Marlene Dietrich, who actually sings a little bit of this in the movie.
Oh, was this in the 30s or something? Or is that
No, this is in the 40s.
the movie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because when
Yeah,
I think of her, I think of like the classic black and white films and like how people were wondering what she would sound like when she spoke.
Who, Marlene Dietrich?
Marlena, yeah.
She did talkies.
No, I know, but I remember we saw this documentary once when we were in the Berkshires where people were wondering, you know, when talkies come out, what is she going to sound like if she does a movie in English?
She sounded pretty good.
Yeah, she sounded fine.
The closest we're going to get nowadays is Madeline Kahn in Blazing Saddles doing her Marlena imitation.
Oh, it was. How romantic.
I actually have a version of this by Dinah Shore, who she did an okay job with it.
I can't see her doing it,
No,
though.
she's very polite.
Yeah, because she's... there was a song on here, I forget which one, but it sounded like, maybe it was It's a Good Day or Waiting for the Train to Come In. It was one of those two songs, but one of those I was like, I could hear Doris Day singing this.
She could definitely do
But it's
a
like,
good day.
with this song, though, it's like, you can't have somebody who looks like America's sweetheart or sounds too innocent singing it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I said, Dinah Shore did an okay job with it, but Peggy just brings it. And Dave gives the arrangement a mysterious Romani feel, if you know what I'm saying. And overall, it's like more of that seductive persona. Like you said, she's got something mysterious going on,
and you don't know what it is.
Alluring, but not practical.
It's like, like you can only, like if you were seeing her, you wouldn't, in this song, right? If I had to stage it, the stage wouldn't be lit. It would just be shadows playing on the walls. You know what I mean? Like sometimes
in front of a campfire kind of.
To look like in front of a campfire kind of thing. Or like, you know how in some shots in the film, we're going to talk about it a little bit later, and I think you're going to know why as soon as I say it, but in Touch of Evil, how some shots, the person is half in the light and the rest of their face is like in total pitch black silhouette. You kind of have that thing going on there too.
Oh, okay.
All right, next song. Why Don't You Do Right? Ah, yes, the Jessica Rabbit song, which probably explains why this track is the most played of the entire album on Spotify. And I have to say, I prefer that version to Peggy's, and maybe it's because the Jessica Rabbit version was the first one I heard. With this one, Peggy has had enough, and the song's pacing is faster because she wants this guy to leave and cough up the money as soon as possible. With Jessica Rabbit, it's a seductive slow burn, and I feel like they slowed it down on purpose to let the audience fully process Jessica's animation like, holy crap, she's a cartoon? But the one aspect of Peggy's version I like better is those final chords at the end because it gives this sense of finality, like the relationship is over, goodbye. And I also had this weird idea. Imagine if this song was used in film noir somehow. Like imagine this song in the background as a femme fatale murders someone and takes his money like, get out of here, permanently, and then the gun goes off, bang. I always like taking songs and finding ways to turn them on their head like that.
I completely forgot about Jessica Rabbit's version. I cannot even remember it, so I'm probably gonna have to watch Who Framed Roger Rabbit again on VHS.
Because we don't have the DVD.
Not on DVD because they edited the DVD.
Why'd they edit the DVD?
Some of Baby Herman's antics at the beginning.
Oh, the cigar.
Yeah. And a few other little things. So I'm gonna stick with the VHS for
until
now.
it turns to fuzz.
Yeah, until Disney gets their act together and puts it out the way it was meant to be.
Like the original Star Wars cut.
Yes,
the George
exactly.
Lucas edits.
Exactly. Yeah, for me, this song is vampy as all get out. Peggy's guy at the moment is down on his luck. He had money in 22, but he let women make a fool of him. Presumably, he lost the rest of it in the crash 29.
Yeah.
And I like how she says, if you had prepared 20 years ago, you wouldn't be a wandering from door to door. Still good advice today.
Yeah, it is.
But I just love her delivery in this song. It's just like, yeah, why don't you do right? And yeah, get me some money too while you're at it.
And there's a double meaning in wandering from door to door. Traveling salesman, and also wandering door to door because he can't settle down.
Well, I kind of got it as like, yeah, traveling salesman or like,
Hello?
could you help someone who's down on their luck, please? Slam.
Yeah. Hello?
Could you help someone who's down on their slam?
Yep.
And so on and so on and
All
so on.
right, next song. Mañana is soon enough for me. Oh boy, here we go. So, yeah, this song hasn't aged well, but Peggy did write later that she regretted how the song came across, but that apology is kind of like saying, I'm sorry if you were offended, which, ouch. I did a bit of research, and when it came out, some people liked it, and some people very much didn't, so the reaction was mixed. Personally, I find the accent cringy. In the same vein as Charlton Heston wearing Mexican brownface in Touch of Evil cringy. Same vibe. There are also better songs about procrastination out there. There's always going to be songs from this time period that haven't aged well, So maybe just find a song with the same theme that isn't as offensive or doesn't use offensive words. But fun fact about this song, an instrumental of it was played on Seinfeld. Can you guess when? Considering you know like most of the episodes?
Nope.
Okay, it was played in the episode The Blood, in a scene where Kramer and Newman listen to Jackie Davis's cover while making sausage in Jerry's apartment.
Oh, yes! Yeah!
Why were they making sausage in Jerry's apartment?
Because Jerry wasn't there. And they just decided they were going to do whatever the heck they wanted in Jerry's apartment. Because why mess up their own apartments making sausage? Let's go to Jerry's.
But where the hell was Jerry? Was he like out of town or something?
I can't remember if he might have been out west doing the Tonight Show. I know he was gone for, I know he was gone for a while, and they just decided, hey, we're just going to make sausage at Jerry's.
Oh my God, that sounds something like Newman and Kramer would do. But yeah, I hear this song and I'm like, yep, this is definitely the same person who wrote the Siamese Cat song.
Yep, this was written by Peggy and Dave. Now get this. It spent 9 weeks at #1 in 1948 and sold 2 million copies, making it her most successful hit. And yeah, she got shit from critics for lyrical content, but she always maintained the song's intent was nothing less than affectionate. And you're going to hate me for this, but every time I hear it, it kind of brings a smile on my face.
Maybe it's because of the music, though, and not necessarily the lyrics because of the dance beat.
Oh, come on, that line, why he give the horse my money is something I don't know, cracks me up. I'm sorry. Hilarious. I love this song. Come and get me, PC Police. I am all yours.
Wee-oo, wee-oo. Okay, next song. Oh, God.
That's my invisible cross to keep them away.
God, you're not the religious right. Sit your butt down. All right, Riders in the Sky.
Well, it's kind of going for a vampire thing.
Oh, Riders in the Sky. Fun fact, this song has been used in so many video games, and that's how a lot of people in my generation first heard this song. To list a few, Riders in the Sky was featured in Red Dead Redemption 2, Fallout 76, the most recent Fallout, and Mass Effect Andromeda. But the version used most often is, of course, the Johnny Cash cover. This, covered by Peggy, has a sense of urgency to it with the tempo. You can see the cowboy galloping frantically on his horse trying to get away from the ghosts. Yeah, it's almost like, if you had to picture what these ghosts look like, picture a Western version of A Christmas Carol where the ghosts are warning him to change his ways before it's too late or you'll be one of us. And the ghosts in this song, I'm willing to bet, look like that creepy version of Jacob Marley from that 60s cartoon.
I was just going to say it.
I couldn't watch because it's so disturbing. When it comes to which version I'd rather listen to, though, Johnny's or Peggy's, I think it depends on what mood I'm in, but I like them both.
Okay, now for me, Vaughn Monroe's version of this song is untouchable.
I'm sorry, who's?
Vaughn Monroe.
Vaughn Monroe.
Vaughn Monroe.
Never heard of Vaughn.
You're going to have to Spotify it. His version always gives me the chills, and I think it's his deeply deep bass voice that puts it across. Peggy's version is okay. It's not bad, but to me, it just always seems out of character for her. It's not like a sultry song or a vampy song.
Maybe she was a fan of it and just wanted to do it.
But you know what? I guess the song was so popular in its day that everyone did a version of it. And I also have Johnny Cash's version, which is good. He's got that deep voice. But again, Vaughn Monroe's is just unbeatable. I have his version too. You hear it and it's just, the man means business. I mean, his voice is deeper than Johnny Cash's.
That's saying something.
When he sings this song. But yeah, she does a decent job. It's interesting hearing a female voice on this song. And like I said, I'm sure everyone back then had to crank out a version. It's not bad.
Okay. All right. Next track. Happiness is a Thing Called Joe. Okay, hear me out. This song is clearly romantic, but I get uncomfortable. Why? Because both my grandfathers were named Joe. So I'm just sitting there like, ma'am, please stop. So I'm just going to focus on the music here. Perfect for a slow dance. And Peggy's voice sounds different from the other tracks because she's more lovey-dovey, but it has this maturity to it. Like she's not a girl making goo-goo eyes. More like a woman who's finally happy. And I was surprised by two things about this song. One, Frank Sinatra produced it, which makes sense hearing the musical arrangement. And two, Cher apparently did a cover of this song.
Who?
Cher.
Okay.
Which sounds weird.
There's quite a few versions of this song out there.
But hey, sometimes singers cover classics because it's what they like. I mean, David Lee Roth did Just a Gigolo, so it goes to show everyone is a fan of somebody and they want to pay tribute to their idols. Also goes to show that everyone has a bit of an eclectic taste when it comes to music.
Tony Bennett actually did a cover of this song, changed the
Joan? Did he make it Joan instead of Joe?
No, it was Joe, but it was like she loves him. It wasn't first person, it was third person.
Oh, it's third person.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. He did the cover. Bette Midler did the cover.
That makes
Some
sense.
other people did covers. Anyway, yes, fellow Capitol Records artist one Francis Albert Sinatra conducts the orchestra.
He conducts?
He conducts.
I guess he observed a lot from Nelson, or maybe he took lessons in his own private time.
Either that or the orchestra players were like, okay, it's Frank. He thinks he knows how to conduct. Let's humor him so he doesn't put a hit out on us.
Or he doesn't break our kneecaps.
Exactly.
1, 2, 3, yeah.
Exactly. Now, I'm sure both your uncles would love this song too.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Oh, God, now it's 4 times worse.
Now, my CD booklet informs me that this version, unlike the box set version,
Right.
contains an extra opening verse, which, after doing a lot of research online, I could not find any version of the lyrics on the A to Z website, A to Z lyrics.com website, that has that first verse at all. For some
Really?
reason, I have no idea why.
Hmm.
This might be the only version out there that has that special verse. But apparently Joe is the man.
Mm-hmm.
His smile makes lilacs grow.
Mm.
He makes angels sigh.
Mm-hmm.
His kisses make it Christmas everywhere.
Mm.
There's just no stopping this guy.
Mm.
And she sounds like, how can I put this politely? Like she's basking in the afterglow.
Oh, yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Yes.
I think you do.
Mm-hmm.
And I always kind of thought, yeah, this is an okay song, I guess. But, my name's not Joe, so do I really care? Not kind of really, but...
Well, maybe Joe was also a lot more of a common name back then, so maybe a lot more people felt it applied to them.
Yeah, because I guess it could have been Happiness is a thing called John, but John was more like, the anonymous kind of name, a.k.a. John Doe, or Dear John, you're dumped.
Yeah. All right, next song, Fever. The first time I heard this song was when I was in middle school, and I played it over and over and over again. Lip syncing and acting out to this song was one of my favorite things to do. I think if Mom caught me doing it, though, she would have taught me to stop. Like when she caught me doing an impression of Marilyn Monroe singing Happy Birthday, Mr. President in the mirror. Yeah. Well, because here's the thing. I didn't know it was bad back then because I was too young. So I was saying this is another acting impression I can add to my arsenal. So I was standing in front of the mirror. I was practicing it. I had the breathiness down and I'm doing it.
Okay, for the folks at home.
But here's the thing. Mom stopped me, and because I think she used the word trashy, so I stopped doing it. And I can't do the impression of her singing it anymore. It's completely gone. And I'll never have it back.
Trashy.
Yeah.
I beg to differ on that.
Well, it wasn't a good adjective. Let's just put it that way. I don't know if it was trashy, but it was bad.
When were you doing Fever? Did you get some crap for doing Fever as well?
No, but I'm just saying, I'm glad Mom didn't catch me singing along to this song because she probably would have made some sort of comment too, and I probably would have never enjoyed this song again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, anyway, I think the thing I like about Fever is the sense of danger it conveys with the upright bass, and especially with the percussion. Side note, I had a typo in this, so upright bass is typed out as upright ass. God. Anyway, now, the sense of danger comes clear, especially with the percussion, because it sounds so primal, and you kind of feel like you've been cornered, or Peggy is circling you about to pounce.
Yes, please.
And I think this song sounds so primal because everyone has felt this emotion since the dark ages. And as Peggy sings, fever isn't such a new thing. The fever started long ago. It's also interesting that the song perpetuated the false narrative surrounding Pocahontas before Disney did. So here's the true story, as much as I could garner, because, again, a lot was lost to records. So her real name was, and I don't know how to pronounce it, so I'm going to spell it, Ammonute. And the story about her rescuing John Smith is disputed. What is certain is that she was not in love with him, and that she was around 11 or 12 years old when the alleged events took place. And again, the reason it's all kind of murky is because no records were kept and records were lost, so there you go. As for the Romeo and Juliet portion of the song, that one has more romance to it, and I wonder if any productions of R&J used this in their show. Maybe it would have been too on the nose, but you could always play it pre-show or during intermission. I also firmly believe what sells this song are the bass, drums, and snaps. The snaps especially because if you don't feel comfortable singing along or bumping and grinding, you can always snap along. And if you can't snap, well, I guess you're kind of screwed. And listening to this song, I got to thinking, this could be part of a TikTok challenge I've seen. The challenge is for women to go off camera and say to their man, who is occupied doing something else, could be reading a book, playing video games, or working on their laptop or what have you. The girl has to say, "Baby, it's hot in here," and proceed to strip off camera. The video is supposed to capture the man's reaction. I've only seen one, and the guy practically jumped off the couch and threw down his video game controller. Anyway, this song is hot, and I don't care what anyone says. But if you want a funny version, Google Rita Moreno singing Fever on the Muppet Show and watch as Animal throws off her performance bit by bit on the drums. I sent it to my friend Mike, who's a drummer and loves Animal, and he'd never seen it before and thought it was hilarious.
Okay, so after Happiness is a thing called Joe. Like I said, Peggy went to Decca so she could record Lover. And then after being at Decca for 5 years, she came back to Capitol to record Fever.
Definitely a tonal shift.
Yep. Now, this was written by Eddie Conley and Otis Blackwell under the nom de plume John Davenport for some reason, with some additional uncopyrighted verses by Peggy. Now, originally, this song was recorded by Little Willie John, who had a big hit with it without the Peggy verses. Now, there are those out there who say that Little Willie's is the best version ever and Peggy was ripping him off. Now, I found his version on YouTube, and it's a good version. It really is. I have absolutely no problem with it at all. But no, Peggy's not ripping him off, because can one rip off finger snaps?
No, not really.
I think
You
finger
just
snapping
snap.
is probably in the public domain.
And if you're doing it to the beat, then you kind of can't help it.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that's about the only thing both versions seem to have in common.
That would be like trying to have a copyright claim on a click track or a metronome, I think.
Yeah, I
You
guess.
can't really.
Yeah, yes. Now, Peggy's version is more stripped down and bare bones. It's just the bass, the great drumming, and finger snaps.
Yeah.
But with her voice front and center, it doesn't matter what's going on in the background. And I will say this, and I'll probably get crap for it, but I think any straight male or any lesbian who cannot respond to Peggy's voice on a primal level really needs to rethink things.
Hey, it brings out the primal level in me, and I'm a straight woman. Well, no one's 100% straight. In my opinion, anyway.
That's your opinion. This, to me, is the definitive version. No one comes close. No one. Not even Beyonce. And don't even
I haven't heard hers yet.
get me started on Madonna's lousy version.
Oh, I can't see Madonna doing one.
Yeah, she did it on her erotic album, and it's just so cold.
Oh.
Has like she could have called her version Chills instead of Fever.
No.
Because it's just it's just awful.
I do want to hear Beyonce's version out of curiosity. I might look that up later. Next track. All right, okay, you win.
I always win.
Okay, Zod.
Thank you.
So I want to say something.
Go ahead.
Ladies, if there's I'm going to address the other end of the spectrum of what this song could be. If there's a guy clinging onto you who won't leave you alone, drop him like a fly, because that's not romantic, it's creepy. They need to recognize you need your own private space, and you have your own life outside of them. But this song is not that. This is the other end of the spectrum. Guy falls in love with Peggy, but you get the feeling that when she says she's not interested at first, he goes, okay, and leaves her alone. Then when she realizes she does have feelings to this man, it's a celebration, and not her just saying it so this guy will shut the hell up and possibly not murder her. No, seriously, there was a meme about this that I saw, actually, and it was me when a guy is acting too touchy-feely with me in public, but I'm too scared to do anything because he might punch me. That's a real thing.
That's when you have to hold on to the keys.
But with this
and go
song,
Wolverine on them.
the sweet part of the song is when she says, if you're going to be my man, sweet baby, take me by the hand. You can picture the guy totally freaking out and geeking out, and then the two of them skip off into the sunset, getting ready for the fun they're going to have.
It's definitely a sprightly tune.
Yeah, it's fluffy.
And it's like, I think her attitude was like, okay, you won, but treat me right, damn it. And I'm wondering, what did he win? How did he win? Did he wear her down? Did he get past her defenses?
I don't get the sense of wearing down. Maybe it was like she dated some other men, and then things weren't clicking. And then she looked at him and was like, maybe I'll try, why not? Or
Yeah,
maybe
okay, I'll make sure you're
maybe
not-
it's like you realize you have feelings but only later. Like it's obvious to everybody else but you, that kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. So he could be the man who almost got away. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Very interesting. I kind of came at it from a different angle. Like, you know, he got past her defenses, and if he did, he's pretty good because she's Peggy,
Yeah.
and she ain't gonna take any crap from anyone.
No.
No.
All right, next track. I'm a Woman. Question. Did Diana Ross do a cover of this song, or am I making that up?
I didn't come across a version by her, but I did come across a Bette Midler version. The one I'm familiar with was done by Maria Muldaur. It's been done quite a few times, so it's possible Diana may have done a version, but you can search for it out there.
Okay, so I first heard this song in My Big Fat Greek Wedding, where Tula is singing this around the house because she's been secretly dating Ian, and her mother asks, happy again today, Tula, huh? Which is what Mom says to me when I crush on someone. I also feel like this song is a woman's version of Bo Diddley's I'm a Man.
I never thought of it that way, but
Really?
I can see that.
I'm a woman, I'm a man. Yeah, you got it.
And this was written by two nice Jewish boys.
Peggy exudes confidence in this song, and I like how her voice easily adapts to the bluesy arrangements of it. It's a side of her we don't see often, and on one hand I wish she did more bluesy arrangements, but then I feel like the song wouldn't be so special anymore. And the gist of this song is, I could take you to my bed and make it up again all nice and clean, all before noon. So needless to say, this song went right on my women's empowerment playlist.
Nah.
Yep.
So when I was doing a lyric search for this song, Bette Midler's name came up, not Miss Peggy Lee's.
Well, Cher's came up for the, what other song we talked about?
Happiness is a Thing Called Joe?
Yeah, she came up for that one.
Anyway, so when Bette Midler's came up, I thought, I bet Bette did the Peggy Lee tribute album, which she did in 2010, and I thought, why bother? You know, Peggy's recordings still exist. Come on now. You know what the one thing is worse than a tribute album?
But
2 tribute albums. Because my thing is like, why would you listen to a bunch of remakes when you've got the originals? It's like, hey, we're going to do a Beatles tribute album. We're going to do a Buddy Holly tribute album. Bob Dylan tribute album, Elton John. They've all had tribute albums done. And I think, no, we still have the originals. They still exist. They'll always exist.
maybe it's just people wanting to pay homage to their greatness and saying thank you.
Well, just come out and say, hey, you're really great. Don't foist a crappy album of crappy covers on us. Thank you very much.
But what if there's some good ones?
There never are. There just never are.
What about the
Once in
Beatles
a
tribute
while-
concert with The Night That Changed America with Annie Lennox singing Fool on the Hill?
Okay, I will grant that. Wait a minute. Every once in a while, you get someone who knows what they're doing and can sometimes do it better. Like Jimi Hendrix doing Dylan's All Along the Watchtower. That's way, way better than Bob Dylan's.
Even Bob admitted it.
Yes, but Jimi Hendrix wasn't part of a Bob Dylan tribute album. It was just like, I like this song, I'm gonna do it, and son of a gun, he did it better. It's like when Aretha did Respect. Otis Redding wrote that song.
But she made it hers.
She made it hers, and
everyone's
his
like,
thing was
Otis who?
and every time he sang it, he'd sing it, and he said, "I'm going to do it, but this girl stole it from me, but I'm going to sing it anyway."
Didn't he say that in a kind of tongue-in-cheek way, though?
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
oh yeah. But yeah, tribute albums. Anyway, the first, like I said, the first version of this song I heard was by Maria Muldaur. I love Maria Muldaur.
Ew.
If you ever pick
Ray Muldaur.
album and we get to Midnight at the Oasis. Ugh. Anyway,
Ew.
then I heard Peggy's version and it's like no contest. No contest. Is she a woman? Oh my, yes, and she's a super one at that. She can do it all and she can do it better than you, and hell, she will make a man out of you. And I love how like her voice swoops low at the end of certain lines, like to make the point, I suppose. And it's like she is in total control of this song, and she's in total control of you as well. You got that? She is just like she's just like Queen of the Universe.
Yeah,
in
pretty
this
much.
song. But I just love that swooping. I can't explain it, but it just really brings the song to another level.
Yeah. All right, next song, Pass Me By. So I get the message of the song. This is who I am, and if you don't like it, get moving, because I don't want to waste my time with you. But I think the musicians sounding like a fife and drum parade sounds weird. I get that it's supposed to sound like a parade passing by, but it sounds too 76 trombones for me. And I like that song. I like 76 trombones. But for Peggy, I don't know if it works. It does get better when the instruments get a more jazzy arrangement, but the jazzy arrangement enters too late. Good message, but I don't think it comes across the right way.
This is from the movie Father Goose, starring Cary Grant.
Oh, that
And,
explains how they know each other then.
and I think I may have seen this once or twice on TV as a kid. I
Mm-hmm.
kind of remember, like, for some reason he wound up with a lot of kids.
Hmm.
I would have to, like,
Look
do
at
some
it.
research.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember why he wound up with all the kids, but I think one of his things was like to get them all marching, and that's why you've got
Oh.
that kind of thing going on with the song.
Mm.
And like I said before, I remember hearing this song on Captain Kangaroo 2. I tried finding it on YouTube. I tried doing a general Google search.
Can't find it.
Cannot find it,
Oh.
but I swear to God, I remember seeing this on
I
that
believe
show.
you. I believe you.
Okay. And it's like, yeah, Peggy in this is like Kramer. She's doing what she does, the way she's always done it, the way she's always going to do it. And if you don't like it, you just pass her by.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the arrangement. I do. It's different. Yeah, it's got this marching thing going on. And then you got that jazz thing, that break. But for me, it works. And I think it is perfect for playing in parades and some band out there, some high school band or marching band.
I could see them doing a version of this, absolutely.
Yeah, it would be great. And it gives them that chance to swing. I love this song.
I would have rather heard that at EP than The Horse.
The Horse?
The Horse is kind of like our fight song. For some reason, it was like da 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 da, and then they would swing one way, da da, swing the other way, da da. It was yeah.
That's core song's called The Horse?
The Horse, yeah.
I never knew that because to me that was always like a swinging 60s instrumental. You'd
Yeah.
hear it on the radio. I had no idea that's what it was called.
The Horse, yeah. The Horse isn't that bad, but this would have added more variety. Anyway,
And plus it has words.
yeah. All right, next song, Big Spender. Here we go, the Big Bob Fosse number from Sweet Charity. So, in the context of the original musical, this song is sung by the call girls when Charity arrives at work. It's a seduction.
Taxi dancers.
Taxi dancers, sorry. Oh, God, I forgot the term. It's sung by the taxi dancers when Charity arrives at work. It's a seduction song calling out the men who've come to the club. Calling out to the men who've come to the club. It also has a music to allow for some seductive Fosse dancing, but it's also so slow to convey that these women are tired and they have been on their feet all day, but they still have to do their job and go through the song and dance no matter how tired they're feeling. The version of the song is trimmed down, that way it can be a solo for Peggy as opposed to a group number, which makes sense. They cut out the teasing dialogue, which I don't mind, and they keep the great horn section, which sells the song. But I think they should have kept the tempo slow because it has to be the seductive burn. Peggy isn't rushing it per se, it's more so that her interpretation of this song is one that's faster. But I feel like slowing down the song gives a more teasing aspect, which is what the girls are supposed to do for the men who come to the club. So sorry, Peggy, but I think I prefer the original number.
According to my booklet, she's a temptress with a brazen proposition. And I cannot argue with that. And yes, this is from the musical Sweet Charity.
Yep.
About a taxi dancer. And I actually did a lot of digging on Wikipedia to find out, okay, what's this musical about? And it has a depressing ending.
Yeah, it does. It does.
And this musical was based on a Fellini movie called Knights of Cabiria, which I actually saw, and I probably have to see again because it didn't make sense the first time. And in that movie, it's about a prostitute and the crap that she goes through with men. But this being the United States,
Taxi dancer.
taxi dancer, and I had to look up that term, and basically you were called a taxi dancer because it was,
That's okay, we can keep recording, keep going.
okay, it was like a dime a dance type of thing. So they called taxi dancers because the guys were looked on as like fares, like, okay, I'm going to dance with you this one song. Next, okay, I'm going to dance with you this one song.
Next, yeah.
Yeah, and you just keep going and going. And yeah, like you said, well, I got this from Wikipedia. It said, in the musical, the dancers proposition the audience with this song.
Yeah, they do.
Just feeding one line after another after another. But my favorite line is, I don't pop my
cork for every guy I see.
Which is like Peggy Lee all over.
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely priceless. And like, I've never heard the original. This is the only version I'm familiar with, and the one that your mom and
Auntie A.
insist on singing sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, Peggy definitely has your mom and your aunt beat with this one.
Yeah, sorry, Mom.
I love this
Sorry,
version.
Auntie A.
I love this song.
Yeah.
Here's my dime. Let's dance.
All right. Final song. Is that all there is? Because what the hell else are they going to end this album on?
Is that all there is? Spock.
God, don't even put that out there in the universe. I first heard this song in a
Too late. Let's get a Shatner version going.
No. I first heard this song in a medley of songs from the 60s that Carol Burnett and Julie Andrews did at Lincoln Center.
Really?
They
From that
ended-
CD?
Yeah, they ended with Is That All There Is? And then they go, We're All, and then they sing, If That's All, That's All. And then they go, We're all Sergeant Pepper's Lonely. They started with Sergeant Pepper, and they end with Sergeant Pepper. And it works. I swear. You should see my dad's face right now. It works.
Oh, that's horrible.
I swear to God. And the song before that is What Goes Up Must Come Down.
Oh, Spinning Wheel?
Yes. It works though. I swear to Jesus it works. I swear to God it works. It's Julie and Carol. They're not stupid. They're goddesses on earth and they wouldn't make it bad.
That noise you hear is me banging my head on the counter.
Yeah, now you're gonna have a sore head,
Oh,
so
yeah. it
you
wasn't a
shouldn't have
good
done
idea.
that.
Probably
Anyway,
worth it, though.
I remember how Mom also doesn't like Is That All There Is? Because it's bitter or depressing or whatever. There was a word thrown in there that I don't remember. There was also a bit
Your
of
grandmother doesn't like it either.
Nana?
Yeah, does not like this song.
too depressing.
I don't know.
Okay, there was also a bit of coincidence because I was hanging out with friends over Discord a couple of nights ago listening to music, and Ray put on this song, Hi Ray, if you're out there, and I thought, that's classy, the fact that he picked this one. So just goes to show you have good taste, my friend. This song doesn't really depress me because I think the feelings expressed in it are universal. We've all had moments where we've been disenchanted by something or someone and we think, that's it? But sometimes you also think, on the other hand, sometimes you think, well, if that's it, then maybe things aren't so bad. So if that's as bad as things get, let's party. Either that or let's drink this disenchantment away. It kind of reminds me of I'm Still Here from Stephen Sondheim's Follies, where this woman has been through everything, the good and the bad, but as she says, I'm still here. And I feel like Peggy could relate to that, and God knows she's still here with us through her music.
Okay, for this song, the orchestra was conducted by one Randy Newman.
Oh, hi, Randy.
One of his early jobs.
Cool.
And like I've listened to a lot of his stuff, and it's like you can just tell it's him just by arrangement, just the way that he uses the banjo.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, there's a banjo
And
there.
he'd use almost the same arrangement for a song that he wrote for Frank Sinatra, who rejected it because it hit too close to home, called Lonely at the Top,
Oh,
on his album Sail Away. Yeah, you have to listen to this song and you realize, yes, it definitely is about Frank, and you realize, yes, you can definitely see why Frank would not touch it.
mm-hmm.
I have it on the Sail Away album.
It's probably on Spotify, too.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Peggy speaks most of the song. And she just sings the chorus, so I don't know if you'd call it like if in the verses, if she's like acting or reciting.
Monologuing.
Monologue.
Soliloquying, if she's all by
We
herself.
catch her monologuing. Oh my God.
Or maybe she's no, she's probably monologuing because I can see her sitting with like the orchestra in the background. So if it's her and them, then it's a monologue. We can't count it as a soliloquy.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's a sad song. I mean, to me, it's kind of like someone who's seen it all, or like she has no notions of what things should be like, but when they actually happen, it's like, yeah. And it's one of these things where like her anticipation is always going to be better than the results,
Mm-hmm.
which happens sometimes. But
Sure.
But with Peg in this song, it's all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, is that all there is to my house burning down? Is that all there is to the circus? Is that all there is to love? Like, always gets me with that line, like about, then he went away, and
I thought I'd die, but I didn't.
but I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, I'm still okay about this. So is that all there is to love? Because I'm still standing
Mm-hmm.
better than I ever did.
Mm-hmm.
Looking like a true survivor.
Mm-hmm.
Feeling like a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm not going to do the rest of that Elton John song.
Oh, that's what that was.
Okay. See, now, every time I hear this song, my big fear is someday I'm going to be at the Grand Canyon, I'm going to look down and think, is that all there is? It's just a big hole in the ground.
At least you won't be like Andy on Parks and Rec where he looks
Hey,
down
where
and
are
goes,
those guys' faces on the mountain?
the presidents? And then April looks at him like, are you kidding me? Yeah, that will
Yes, like Nana doesn't like this song. Your mom doesn't like this song. I like this song. I kind of get it. And it's kind of like, yeah, if that's all there is, then hey, let's just get rip-roaring drunk because, feeling numb is probably a lot better than what's going on in the world at the moment.
Oh God, now I know why Ray likes this song. Oh dear.
Is it something you can share with the folks at home? Or?
No. It's just we make dark jokes at each other's expense all the time. It's fine.
Oh, okay.
We're fine.
And
we're fine.
and it's like she gets that final verse about, yeah, I know what you're thinking. Well, why isn't she in it all? Because, oh no, I'm not in a hurry for that because I'm just gonna be really disappointed if that happens, and I'll just bide my time.
Yeah. All right. Overall, Peggy Lee is awesome. I feel like her music is perfect for when you're in a sexy mood, but when you want to keep things classy, or for when you want to have a drink and get a little tipsy, but not too drunk to the point where you're feeling sick. Her music definitely, well, think about it. There's a fine balance. Her music definitely suits certain moods. You just have to figure out what mood you're in before you pick a song. The word dame gets thrown around often, but it's certainly applicable for Lady Peggy Lee, not just Miss. Lady to you, pal.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all in all, a great compilation. But yeah, she was a great combination. Great voice and wrote great songs that will live forever. Highly recommended. The one, the only,
Peggy
Miss
Lee.
Peggy Lee.
Miss Peggy Lee to you, Lady Peggy Lee, Dame Peggy Lee. Always have to have a title before it. Yeah. All right.
Dame Miss or Miss Dame?
I was like listing them off. Dame, Miss, Lady, just listing them off.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, as always, thank you for listening to another episode of My Dad Listens to This. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. If you follow me on my social media, I post all the episodes there, and you can also get the episodes through my father. We will be back next episode with another album to nitpick and gripe about. Anything you want to say before we log off?
As always, thank you for listening. We really appreciate it.
Thanks. But is that all there is?